Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm sure a lot of you know that Sid Vicious recently passed away at the age of just 63 after a battle with cancer. His son, Gunner, actually announced that he had died after a lengthy battle with cancer. Gunner also is a wrestler, but he was a man of strength, kindness, and love, and his presence will be greatly missed, Gunner said in a statement. Real name was Sid Vicious, staple in the WWE, WCW, for a couple different runs. Started in the 1980s as a wrestler. Here he is a member of the Four Horsemen. And I think a lot of people, when they think of Sid Vicious, he's a bit of a conundrum, I guess, if you will. Never quite lived up to what he really probably could have been. I think his career was cut short by some injuries. I know he hurt his leg in the early 2000s, had some shoulder issues, so injuries kind of derailed his career a little bit, but nevertheless, in my opinion, a wrestling legend who's been in the ring with all the big dogs throughout his career. Last wrestled in 2017 as part of the Great North Wrestling Federation, whatever you want to call it, company, I guess. Had a handful of injuries. Leg injury, 2001 is the big one that really hurt him. Shoulder, back, and knee issues. Guys that big, I mean, this Sid was a monster, man. This guy was a big man, dude. I always thought he was the perfect body for professional wrestling. He's the kind of guy you would envision if you thought of a professional wrestler. Big, tall guy, the long hair, the chiseled physique. Just a monster, man. I'm pretty sure he was legit 6'6". They tend to embellish the stats of professional wrestlers. I've said it before. But even Ric Flair, who supposedly Sid and Rick did not get along very well, but even Ric Flair sent his condolences, saying he was sorry to hear about the passing of Sid Justice, he called him. That was another one of his in-ring names. Psycho Sid was another. He's talking about how they didn't get along. Last time he saw him, they did hug. And apparently they mended the fences, I guess, if you will. Had a beautiful family. Flair goes on to say his family should know he's much more than a softball player. He apparently enjoyed softball very, very much, which I find pretty cool. Back in the day, I played a lot of softball myself, so I can understand the draw to that. It's survived by two sons, Frank and Gunner. Gunner is, I believe, into trying to get into wrestling right now. I think if we look right here at this picture, I'm not going to see more on Facebook, but here we go. Couple pics. I think the gentleman on the left, big dude, definitely tell he's Sid's son. Looks a lot like him. Same hair, same eyes. Big dude, but if you see him here next to Sid, who's obviously older in this pic, but still, that kid's got to be pushing 6'5", 6'6". Big dude as well. So good to see that he was a good family man. That's something that I think a lot of these professional wrestlers stray from. Certainly been a lot of tragedies involving family in the world of professional wrestling. Sid Vicious got into wrestling in the 1980s. Super long Wikipedia list here. I mean, he's done about everything at some point. Again, we talk about the things that Sid should have been, would have been, could have been. I just think take away some of those injuries and add some more durability that was lost because of those injuries. I think Sid would have been a lot more popular and certainly had a more established career. He was, in my opinion, back in the day, you had to be, in order to be popular, you had to be good with the mic. Mic work was a huge thing, and it still is today, I would imagine. I mean, it is. But back in the day, especially the Attitude Era, if you couldn't grab that mic and grab a hold of the crowd, and I'm not sure that Sid actually developed that or had that quite as much as a lot of the other guys. Nevertheless, sad to see the passing of Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, whatever you want to call him. Rest in peace, big man.